Hi Jill. I made this video to help you with making practice probes for your classroom. I'm going to start at the very beginning and show you all the steps. First of all, you need to log into your SchoolNet account by going through Power Teacher and just click on the link for SchoolNet. Your dashboard will look a little differently than mine because mine is the system-wide dashboard. But the process is exactly the same. So the first thing you're going to do when you get to your dashboard is click on Assessment, and then you're going to click Create. So now you have some options here. You can create an item if you wanted to enter a question, make a passage, a rubric, a test manually, or an express test. Well, what we want to do, and generally what I always do when making a test, is use the express test. So we click on Start Now. Then you give your test a name. I like to use 5th grade. So if it's a 5th grade prompt, that way I know it's always for 5th grade, especially since I store prompts for all kinds of different, or probes for all kinds of different grade levels. So we'll do 5th grade and then SPI. I'm not sure about the name of my SPI right now, so what I'm going to do is leave that till the next step in the process. And these are going to be for your classroom, so I just put my classroom. I change my subject to math. My grade level settings will be for 5th grade. And then I'll go down, and you need to go down to Math Performance Indicators, Teacher, and Checks for Understanding right there. Scroll down just a little more, and you're going to click Select Standards. This will let you select standards for your specific need at the moment. So let's say we're going to make a standard for data and probability, and we want to use 5.1. So remember, I didn't know which SPI I was going to use, so what I'm going to do is go back up to the top right here where the little edit button is. I'm going to click on that, and I'm actually going to type the number of the SPI in. So it says 5.1, and then it says depict data using various representations including decimal and or fractional data. So I'm just going to put depict data. This gives me a chance to know a little bit about what the SPI is without having to have the whole list in front of me. So we've chosen our standard, and you can choose multiple standards if you want. I forgot to click on it, so I'm going to click on it. We can choose multiple standards and do all of data at one time, or we can just choose one standard at a time. Depends on the purpose, if you're doing a review test or if you're just doing a practice probe to check a specific skill. So we're going to add that to our test map. There are 42 questions. And you really don't want to view all 42 questions at the same time. It gets a little overwhelming. So if I'm trying to make a 10-question practice probe, I might choose to view 15. And then that gives me some that I can delete in case I don't like those questions. And build express test. Now here's my test that I made. And right here I see that I have an open response question. If you want to have an open response, you're certainly welcome to, but generally I remove those from the test by clicking remove, and then just scroll back down and see what I have. So now I know I have 14 questions. So then I can view these questions and help narrow it down to 10. So I start at the top, and if you will click on the little plus sign in front of it, right after the question number, it shows you all the answer choices. Which circle graph represents the magazine sales? So if I want them to have a circle graph question, I'll leave that one. Here's a stem and leaf pop question, I'll leave that one. This one kind of is a different use of the circle and a spinner, so this is more probability. And that's a good higher order thinking question. I'm going to leave it. Here's a bar graph question. Going to leave that one. I already have a circle graph question, so I'm just going to remove this one because I think we've already covered the circle graph. And you notice how that when I remove that, it refreshed my screen, so all these are unopened again. So to open them back up, I have to go back and look at them and click the plus signs. Thinking about this one, not sure what section would be equal to half. That's kind of a lower level question. I'll probably remove that one. There's a line graph. I like to leave a different kind of graph. Here's a scatter plot. That one's a good one. Here's a horizontal line graph. Thinking about that one. Another bar graph with temperature with lines. That's a good one because they have to choose. Another circle graph question. Another circle graph. That's a good estimation kind of problem for them right there. Here's another stem and leaf. So I have a stem and leaf. So rather than having to go back and remove one of these at a time, I can go up here, scroll back up to the top, and I can click on Customize Test and delete multiple questions. So I did Customize Test, delete multiple questions, and you'll see a box comes up in front of the question. So number 5 I thought was a little bit too easy for 5th grade. We already have a stem and leaf. This was another circle graph. So that's 3 questions I'm deleting now. And so I wanted 10 on the test. And so I'm going to go back up here and click delete. So now that I've deleted it, I can scroll back down, make sure I have 10 questions. These are the 10 questions I want. And I see this ready to schedule come up. This is how I can give this to my students online. If I just want to print it out in paper and pencil, I can say download test on a PDF form. Okay, so we'll go through both processes so you can see how to do that. So I'm going to ready to schedule. It says, are you sure you're ready to schedule? Because when you are, then you can't make any changes. Yes, I'm sure. Okay. And then a schedule button comes up for me to actually schedule this. So I always choose the date that is today so that my students could see it immediately. And then I like to go ahead and choose for my ending date, a date at the end of the school year, because I might want students to look at this another time. And then you have this strange access code. You can change that, and so I'm going to make it 5 data. And if that code has already been used before, it'll tell me, and I won't be able to use that one, but we'll see. I also like to change to scramble the question order just in case students are working side by side. And I also like to scramble the answer choices so that they can't say, oh, I had question 3, I had that question, the answer's A. Just makes them a little bit more accountable independently. And now I'm going to save. And it's in progress. One thing I did notice is that I did not see that I'd actually assigned it to students, so I'm going to go back to scheduling information and edit schedule. And it says test is currently unassigned, so I'm going to do edit assignment, and I have the option to assign to sections, which will automatically send it to 5th grade sections, or assign to individual students. So if you are working to differentiate in your classroom, you can assign a specific practice pro to just one student or a small group of students. So then I'm going to save. And then save again, and it'll take me back to my test. So that's how you get the test to be available for students online. If you don't want to use it online but you want to print it out, you can go to download test as PDF, open it on your computer, and then it comes up as a PDF, and you can just print it out, and here are all the questions. The thing about graphs quite frequently is that the graphs, you'll see a question number 1, it has 4 answers, but D ended up on the next page. There's 2, 3, etc. You can edit that if you want to by opening it up in a Word document and actually manipulating it and changing your fonts and your settings and all that. It takes a little bit of time to do, but it's not impossible. Alright, then I also, after I've downloaded this, I'm just going to click out of that. I'm also going to download myself an answer key, and then I can print that out. And there they are. The screen's only showing you part of what the document looks like, but the numbers are just over here to the left. Alright, hope this gets you started. If you have any other questions, email me or I'll come and see you and work you through this. And feel free to use this one that's already made if you need it. Thanks and have a great day.